Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make this 3D panoramic tower card. Obviously you can't really see how it stands up, but it does stand up on the shelf perfectly, and it also folds down flat to go in an envelope. It'll go into a 6x6 envelope, which I have here, so it will go in there. And what I would recommend that you do with this, just make sure I get this into proper place, because if you post it just like that, these corners could get damaged, and if these come up you could damage your corners. So I recommend that you put a piece of cardstock in there to make sure the corners of the envelope stay out. This is just from a pack of 6x6 Stampin' Up paper. It doesn't need to be particularly thick, just enough to stop that. And my 6x6 envelopes I just buy online. I pushed that the wrong way. You'll find out which is the right way to push this. If you find one of those flattens down, then it's better just to fold it the other way, because the other end I have found doesn't squash. So this card was inspired by a card made by Iced Images, and this is her card. She did hers as vertical, whereas I've just turned mine horizontal, otherwise they're exactly the same. And this card, I saw Iced Images video and she very kindly gave a shout out to me, because she was inspired to make this card by the panoramic card that I made, which was just a flat single fold, but I showed how to do these panels that get smaller and smaller, but to incorporate a picture to it. So many thanks, Iced Images, for your inspiration, and many thanks for giving me a shout out for me inspiring your card. It's very much appreciated. So this is what I'm going to show you today. This has been made in wild wheat, and the Designer Series paper is wildly flowering. I've also done one in Misty Moonlight, and when I come to the Designer Series paper, I'm going to show you how to concentrate on trying to get a main image in there. This one I don't recommend a small design. Again, it's from the blue DSP that I showed you last week that I find difficult to do, but it's worked out beautifully. I do like that, but I do find that the bigger designs, and I've made a masculine one as well, and this is the Take to the Sky design. Alright, so these are the 4 that I've done, so I've got no more to show you at the end of the video. I'm going to be using the Moody Mauve. Moody Mauve and the Wild Wheat are 2 colours that will be retiring when this current catalogue finishes. So I'm going to start off with the card pieces that you're going to be needing. And there's been very little that I've been able to do ahead of time with this. You'll see why as we go along. So first of all, you need 1 piece of Moody Mauve that measures 6 inches by 4.5 inches. You need 2 pieces that measure 4 inches by 4.5 inches. And you need 2 pieces that measure 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches. For the back of the card, now when I did my first one, not that one, oh this one, that's right, I just did a single layer for the back. On these I've got, in fact that one's been decorated as well. Okay, so what I've got here is actually 3 layers of cardstock, 2 of the wild wheat and 1 of the Whisper White, and that gives it so much stability. It's absolutely brilliant. I wasn't happy with this. Excuse me. Yes, I think you can see that, can't you? You can actually see the ridges of the towers there, which I wasn't very happy about. If I remember correctly, Iced Images did use a much thicker cardstock than Stampin' Up cardstock. So you need 3 pieces for that back panel, 2 pieces of Moody Mauve and 1 of Basic White, and they should all measure, I contradicted myself there, haven't I? It should be 4 3/4 inches. Let me just correct that there. 4 3/4 inches by 2 1/8 inches. Sorry, I forgot to mention that the measurements I'm giving, because this is a 6x6 card, the inches suit A4 cardstock users and letter size cardstock users. Measurements will be in the box below as always, and I will convert this to centimetres as well. So you've got those 3 pieces. You need a piece of Designer Series paper. Now for my card, you need to choose a design that's going to go that way. If you wanted to do a tower this way, you need to make your design goes that way. Okay, I'm going this way, so that's going to go across there. Now this piece needs to measure, I can pop it up upside down there. This measures 5 3/4 inches by 4 and, sorry, say that again, 5 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then you need the middle layers to go underneath our Designer Series paper. And you need 2 that measure 2 3/8 inches by 7/8 of an inch. 2 pieces that are 3 7/8 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. And 1 piece that's 5 7/8 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so first of all we're going to, in fact as this is tops, let's do this one first. So I'm just going to adhere these 3 together. You can use tape or Tombow or whatever is your favourite tape, adhesive rather. As you know, Tombow is the one that I like the best. And you just need to adhere these on top of each other. And then this one. You may decide that you'd like to do a different piece on the back here rather than the panels that I'm doing. I mean, the one that I showed you on the first one, you could do that and just do it as 3 layers. But I'm decided to keep mine quite flat. It's plenty of room to write a greeting on there. So there's that piece. Now we're going to concentrate on these. Let's just move all these out of the way. Now all of these you need to score on the 4 1/2 inch side. I've already done all mine ahead of time. And this kind of scoring, I do prefer to use my scoreboard because it's easier and much quicker. Right, so each time you put one of your pieces of cardstock up here, make sure you've got 4 1/2 inches up there. Okay, so for the 2 smaller pieces, and you're going to score all of them at 1 2 3 4 inches. Okay, so I've already done all mine, so I'm just gently running my embossing. Oops, do it the other way around. I always do it to make sure I keep them all down. Okay, so I did those, and then I've done these 2. Yep, you can see they're all done. And then this one, again, make sure you've got your 4 1/2 up there. And that's been done 4 times. I don't think I'll need that again. I will be needing the trimmer. Now what I do now, make sure my trimmer is all in sight. Because you've got 4 equal panels there, I have found it easier if I trim off a tad from this edge. Now, because I wanted to make sure that my instructions were explained properly, I thought I'd leave this one to do it with you. Okay, and it must be on the side with the 1 inch. Don't touch the 1/2 inch side. And that applies for all of them. And I line it up over there so that I can just about see the brown line underneath. Okay, so you're taking off that much. Okay. Just make sure I can see it a tiny little bit. That's got stuck. I think my R bit needs to be cleaned. I suspect I've got some glue on it from somewhere. Okay, so I've got my 1-inch piece here. Line it up so I can just about see the brown line on the other side. Got a 1-inch piece here. Take that one off. And then again with this one, line it up to just see the brown. Okay, so that's that. Now, I haven't finished with the trimmer. We'll need that again in a moment. But the next thing to do is with all the 1/2-inch pieces, we're going to just trim off. No, we're not trimming off. We are just giving a little mitre at the little corner there. So this is the 1/2 inch. Yep. And I'm just taking a little bit off. Okay, not much. And I'm doing both sides on all of them. This just helps when you fold these pieces over and you glue them down. It just makes sure that you don't have a little bit sticking over the top there. That's why it really doesn't need to be very big. As you know, I've been trying to use my leftover paper from the in colours that'll be retiring next May. Unfortunately, as I've been using them, I've become to like them more and more, and I can see myself ordering more packets of them, especially this. This Moody Mauve is absolutely gorgeous, and the Designer Series paper I'm using, it's suitable for both wild wheat and the Moody Mauve. Don't think it's any good for any of the other ones there. No, just these two from the Designer Series paper. So let's get these made up first. I can't think of this one's called bone folder. So fold all these over. As always, make sure you've got them straight. You don't want a wobbly tower, otherwise it won't ever stand up. Just fold them all in the same direction. And just give it a nice fold there. You will find that if you haven't done the best of the creases here, it's not too much of a problem, because I will be guiding you through to tell you to make sure that your tower will fold this way and that way, so that will help to make sure that your creases are good creases. Okay, so that's only 3 more to go. There we go, nearly there. And if you're wondering which is the best way to fold cardstock that you have scored, I think it does matter, and I think you get better creases if you fold so that the valley part of the fold, the dip, goes on the outside. Okay, so they're the mountain bits, the bumpy bits, and they are better if you fold them on the inside. I think this is something where opinions are divided, and I think at the end of the day it does come up as a matter of choice. My choice is definitely to have it on the inside. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off all the towers before I move on to the next stage. Now, I have tried folding these on the outside, which works brilliantly, but it does mean, I think it's this one, oh yes, you get one where you can see that line, the join underneath there. Okay, yep, you can see that. On that one I'm not really bothered. On these ones you can see something on the inside there. I don't know if you can see that. Let's turn it around to the light a bit. Yes, you can see that. But they're all very minor. Do I have a preference? Yeah, I probably do prefer to put it on the outside. But if you do it this way, you know that you are folding correctly. Yeah, let's do it on the inside. I think that's probably the safest instruction to give. Okay, so you've got all your folds, so it's curling up. So put the 1/2 inch tab down. Again, you could use tear and tape or glue runner here. Once you've got that 1/2 inch down there, just fold that over. Okay, now if you fold it like that, oh, that came out the sides. Oh, that's right, that bit won't cause any problems with it. So if you make sure it folds like that and then fold it like that, then you know you've done a good job. Looks like I cut that one a bit too close when I did the mitering, but that's all right, I won't notice. Okay, so you got your 1/2 inch down, fold it in half. Try not to do quite as much loose liquid glue as I did, especially if it oozes out on the inside, you're in trouble. Okay, just make sure it flattens down both ways, then you're okay. Alright, the big one is next. And again, fold 2 over. Get down, it's a big one to hold this one. Ooh, there's a lot coming over that one. Let's quickly grab a piece of tissue, kitchen roll rather. Now, what have I done with that? That looks square. Yeah, that's alright, I haven't done anything wrong. I must have shaved off too much when I cut the edge off, but that won't hurt. As long as it's a proper square. And fold that one over. Oh, did I fold that both ways? Yes. And this one, fold it that way, fold it that way. There we go, that's good. And then this one, fold the 1/2 inch in. There we go. Fold it, fold it, fold it. So they're all okay. So now I'm going to put those together to build the tower. And what I did, which has made life a lot easier for me, using a sheet of the grid paper, I drew the footprint of this once it's all put together. Okay. Now this is because I didn't want to have to put my head right over, so I came under the camera, so you may not want to bother with this, but I did find it easier. Now first of all, I'm going to make sure that the fold that you can see inside there, can you see it? It's up there. So they're all going in the same direction. So that's the cut bit. Oh, that's okay. I'll do it like that. Okay. So I'm going to have all my cut pieces on the top edge. That one. That one. That one. That's right. Top edge. Top edge. Okay, top edge. Top edge. And top edge. So they're all going the same way. So what I do is I get this one down here first, I line it up there, which is where this is going to be joining onto that one. Okay. And then I'm going to lay this one ready so that I can lay it over here. And as I'm bringing it over here, you can see these here. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing here. And if I move my arm up a bit. Okay. So I know that by coming down here, this is going to line up beautifully. So I'm going to bring that one over, making sure I line it up at the crease along here, and making sure that I line up with these two lines either side. Now that's just my guide, and then I bring it back so that I can actually see what I'm doing is correct. That's actually the right way. I've stuck one on back to front, haven't I? Because I've got a cut line there. Okay, I've made a mistake there. I'm not going to worry about it because at least I can have it like this and I can't see a cut on that side. Now the next one, if I stick that one down, like that's it. Okay, so the secret is when you flatten this down, ready to glue on here, make sure you've got your cut underneath. So I'm going to line that up onto that one again. Bring this down because that's how I want the two to be glued together. Line this up on the footprint underneath. Move that out of the way a little bit. If you don't want to do a template like this, but you do have one of our grid papers, there is an easier way of doing this. It's just I drew it for the first one and I've got it, so I might as well use it. So bring this one over, line it up, and I'm now making sure that each edge is lining up down there. Now I'll get back to what I was saying about the squares in a moment. Just concentrate on what I'm doing here, making sure this is square. It's got to come a tad. That's it. All along there. That's okay. Okay, so if you do have any of the grid paper, the gap there and there, it should be 4 squares along. That's for that one and the next one. But between the smallest and the medium one, there's just 3 gaps, 3 square gaps. That's just the way the measurements have worked out. Now, I don't know whether it's easier going forwards with this or just turning it around. I'm turning it around again. I don't want to put my head in the camera. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Because you keep on bending this, this will make sure that your creases are really good. Okay, so that's right. Make my cut on the way down. That's going to line up with my lines there and there. And then when I adhere this onto it, I'm going to make sure that these edges line up with that. Right, where are we? That's good. That's good. Bring that up to the line. Bring that down a bit. You're off. There we go. Let's straighten that up. Flatten it. Let's make sure we got the 4 squares. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Okay. And it's all squashing down nicely. Technical term, that's squashing down nicely. Right, so this one's going to be lining up with these. This one's going to be lining up with this. Now once I finish doing this bit, I'm going to show you how wobbly this is. I don't know whether it's actually going to be obvious to you. So let's move up a bit more, put the bottom one there, bring that one over there. And we know that's going over 3 lines. And that's over 4 lines, that's over 4 lines. So that's good. Okay, so that is all really stuck down nicely. Now, as you can see, well you can see, this is really quite flimsy, not really much support, goes out of shape very easily. Now this is why I have done this piece here, because once that is on there, that is going to really make this sturdy. So I'm going to be using Tombow again. I don't feel that I am making this in a straightforward way, but it is a logical way to do it. I feel that I'm doing this, to use the expression my mum used to use for me, is a bit cack-handed. Okay, so I'm just laying that on there. So I've got equidistance there, equidistance there, there, and there. Now this is going to move. I haven't quite decided why that happens. I assume it's something to do with these pieces squashing down, and therefore it must make it move. So let's have a look. You see the guide, how much gap there, and you can see how much gap I've got there. Now I'm going to flatten this. Now that's got a much narrower gap there, and make sure that it all adheres down. As long as it's straight, then I'm happy. And the benefit of doing the 3 layers, you can't see any bumps along there, so it really is worth the effort of doing that. And when you put this up, it's just brilliant. So if you wanted to do your card like that, you do exactly the same as what we've done now. That would be the way for you, somebody to write on the back for the greeting, and you just do that. So now we're going to do this piece, which is your Designer Series paper. And again, I'm doing mine as horizontal. And what you need to do is, I'm going to stick to horizontal rather than cause any confusion. If you were doing vertical, you would just have your design the other way, but you'd still have your paper. So you're doing it sideways. So what you need to do with this one is you need to cut it into 3/4 inch slices, and then to make sure you can keep it up the right way, obviously you can just look at it to make sure you've got it all up the right way, but it is easier if you take care of this as you go along. So that was my top piece. That is my second top piece. The middle piece. And then 3/4. Now, because I can't hold this properly, I'm just going to add some of my post-it note tape to hold that in place. So now that's that way. and that is that way. My design is quite easy because if I forget, oh no, not this one, it was a blue one, wasn't it? The reverse of the blue design, you could look at the other side and you could see which way was the right way up. But no, not on this one. Okay, so once you're happy you've still got your design in the right way, take the top one and you've got to cut off 1 3/4 inches there and 1 3/4 inches there. Okay, so let's do that one first. So we don't need that. Turn it around, 1 3/4 inches. So that should line up on that bit there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for this piece. So I generally try and remind myself, check the pattern, remember something. So I'm going to remember that that little flower is at that end. There's no white on the bottom there. So this one is 1 3/4 inches. Don't need that. Turn it around and 1 3/4. Okay, well I chopped all the whites off, so that didn't work too well. Never mind, we know I am still right. Okay, so my pattern still matches up. Now I'm going to take this middle one and I'm going to take 1 inch that end and 1 inch that end. Now this one I can cut that one there, and I can either turn it around or I can do it 1 inch there. So that goes in there. You see how it's all coming together nicely now. All of these measurements, including how much you chop off either end, will be in the box below the video. So it's 1 inch off of that one, 1 inch off of this one, and that's going to fit in there, and the middle piece stays as it is, no action required. Okay, let's put that away. Now we're going to bring these pieces in, and my silicone mat. Oh, it looks a bit mucky. Not that much of it will be seen. Oops. Come on, off you come. You're not welcome. Alright, you're determined, aren't you? You can stay. Okay, is this my nice full one? I think so. And looks a bit gunky. Oh, something fell down there. It looks like the my butterfly's flown off off the mirror. Did it earlier today, and I obviously didn't put it back properly. Tweezers. I'm just lining these up here. Two middle pieces. Next week sees the start of, in fact tomorrow, because you'll see this, if you're seeing this on the day it's published, tomorrow sees the start of another round of appointments. I'm going to have my scans, my blood tests done tomorrow, and then I see my consultant, my oncologist, on the following Monday. Let's put these back so that I'm not getting myself muddled up. I have to say I am keeping well, praise the Lord. Still get very tired. I still don't seem to be able to do as much in a day as I used to. But, you know, I'm grateful for the Lord's mercy on me. So I'm not complaining. I'm back card making, and that is a huge step forward. Okay, so that's going to be going there. No, it isn't. That's going to be going there. That's better. So this one. I don't want to stick it on. Oh, I think that's the right side. Don't think we're going to see any writing through this. There we go. So, are you? Yes, that's it. I remember this little pink bit here. Right, and we want the brown spots, top left-hand corner. On Wednesday, the 4th of September, the new Christmas mini catalogue goes live. If you're one of my customers, you will receive your, hopefully you will have received your catalogue. If it didn't arrive yesterday, it should arrive tomorrow, certainly. But also at the same time as that going live, Stampin' Up have also issued a scrapbooking catalogue. I'll come back to that in a minute. Right, now we're going to adhere these onto here. You can fold this down if you like, or you can just do it as it is. Just make sure you do them up the right way. So I'm doing the middle one first. Yes, that looks right. It's not too difficult to do this while it's still raised up. If I remember not to turn this one over. Anyway, the new scrapbook catalogue is as a PDF only, which means you need to either go to my Stampin' Up shop to see the products, or on Wednesday I can send out a link to all my customers, past and present, so they can have a look. Be interested to know how many of you are actually into scrapbooking. Stampin' Up used to do quite a bit, I think, but this new move is because another company called Close to My Heart, which wasn't in Europe, it was only in North America and South Pacific. The lady who owned it sold out apparently during the earlier this year, I think it was. And we have a lot of their demonstrators who are actually called makers. They've come over to Stampin' Up. So we'll have a lot of ideas for scrapbooking. Just sewing down there while I make sure I've still got this up the right way. And this one's the brown dots up in the top left hand corner. There we go. Now the decoration for my cards, you probably noticed that I've done the, let me show you, I've put my sentiment in two different places, and that is because I chose to put them, let me clear this out of the way. I've got a large flower there and I've got a large flower there, so I've decorated around it, and that's what I'm hoping to be able to do here, although this one seems to have a good amount of design all over. Now let's see if this stands up nicely. Oops, got a bit sticky there. There we go. Alright, and again, if I wanted it that way, apart from the Design Series paper, it would stand up perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Now I want to explain to you what I have actually done with the decorating. I want to show you the tools, the dies and everything that I've used. Let's use this. Pop you over there for a minute. Right, these now that is the one for the back of my card, and this is the one for the front of my card, and these have been die cut with dies from the sketched butterfly set. Okay, so there are dies to die cut that and that, but there are also dies. Okay, so they're the three for the stamped ones, and then you've also got these. What I've done is I've used that and that, that and that, or at least that was a plan. Yeah, I have used them all, haven't I? Okay, so what I've done on, you know, I always die cut these and put them on the back. I did my extra little bit here, so that die and that die can go on top of each other like that. I reversed the colours to give an idea, and that make that and that. Okay, so that is sketched butterflies dies and sketched butterflies stamp set. And for the flowers, which I have here, I've used pearls that I found in my stash somewhere. I don't know if they're still current or not, but they are definitely a Stampin' Up product. And then these are made up of these two flowers, and they come from the Flowers of Beauty dies. I've used these, and that one, it die cuts with a hole in the middle, like that one. So when I've adhered that on top of that, I've then put a pearl in the middle. And one other idea I saw, I haven't used it on this one, but it's just another idea for sometime in the future maybe. That one I did the two flowers in white, and then, as I say, that one's got a hole in the middle of it. And I used the hole from having die cut some of these to fill that up in the middle, which I thought looked quite good. Let me just bring these up close so you can have a better look. Okay, let's move that out of the way a bit. So much easier if you've got a white background. Okay. So I've done all those ahead of time because obviously doing the die cutting, gluing them together, sorting out the pearls and everything. The only other dies that I've used, and that's for these, and again I've done two, and this is from Unbounded Love. I've used that one. And the Sentiment I've used from Labelled with Love, and that's the Happy Birthday there. Oops. Let's just hit the deck. Right, so I need that, that and that. Those ones were to show you. So I'm going to glue these two together. Oh, that's from my envelope. Oh no, it wasn't. That was the bit that I just put my things on to show you. Okay, so Tombow. Obviously, again, this is something else. You choose your own sentiment and the die cuts that you're going to be putting them on if you feel that they need die cuts. And when you do this, do remember that this is two shapes. This end has got one rounded bit, and that end has got two. So there is a wrong way of putting these two together. Okay. So if you just make sure you get your fingernails in between those, that'll make sure they glue together really nicely. In fact, I normally stamp before I stick those together. Never mind. I'm going to use the Moody Mauve. It is so nice using stamps like this, the photopolymer. You can just see straight through them. It's lovely. Right, just make sure. There we go. I'm very pleased with that. And this is the one. Now it's time to decide where I want to put this. I've got a lot of lovely design on this one. I love this bit. I wonder if I can do that there. Where would I put my butterfly? Yeah, I think I'll do that there. That's for the back. And have I lost one of my flowers? I have, haven't I? Oh no, there it is. Right, okay, so that's how I'm going to decorate this one. First of all, I'm going to adhere it to the blocks. I suppose I shouldn't really call it a tower card, should I? Because I'm laying the towers down. But I don't think anybody's going to have a go at me for that. Okay, so I can still see the big flower there. I can see this nice little bit here. So I'm just going to turn this over and use my bone folder. Let's put a bit of pressure there. That's it. And then with two of these, I do 3 one end and 2 the other, and where I've got 2, they're on their own, but the third one I tend to pop up on a dimensional, and then that one will be here. I think I'll do the 3 on that side. I think that would help to balance it out. Maybe that one needs a little butterfly in it. But I'm not going to worry about that one now. I'm happy with the design that I've come up with, and by doing this, getting the design done ahead of time, it does save me time while I'm videoing. So to this side, just make it go towards the edge of the white bit there. Slightly overlap, that's fine, happy with that. Now these two, I like to make sure I've got the 2 placed first, so I know where I'm going. I think that it needs to come down a bit. Yep, that's about right. So let's do these 2 first, one at a time. That's by the end of the squiggle of the birthday there. That's not very much, is it? That might be too much. Let's just blot that a bit. So you're coming down here. And then this one I'm going to pop up on a little dimensional, one of our minis. Here we go. I just slot it in between the gap between these 2 so that it can sit over the top. There we go. And this one I glue down. I've already folded the body there. Okay. Gently press that down. Okay. I need to be careful as I put the next one on, because that may not be stuck too firmly. But I'm going to keep that upright. Oh, what have I got on there? Bit of glue. Whoops. Be careful, you butterfly. Yep, that's alright. Yeah, when you do that, make sure that doesn't come too far down here, otherwise that's going to affect the way it's standing up. Now this one I'm also gluing on the body. Okay, so that is today's card. What do you think? Don't you think that's worth the effort? It's quite an easy card to make. It's just it's not one that gives me very much to chat about as I'm going along. It's quite repetitive, but I do think it's beautiful. And there you go, there's all three. Same card, but all decorated differently. But before I go, I just very quickly want to show you something. As you know, probably know, we have online exclusives with products that aren't in the main catalogue, and there's no catalogue for them. And you can only find them if you actually go online, have a look through the shop. I don't actually use any of these products for what I'm doing on videos, because there's no guarantee the amount of time they're going to last. So I try and avoid buying anything on online exclusives. But I have bought two things which I thought were gorgeous, and I wanted to share them with you, just in case I use them at some stage in the future. First of all, there's these gems called Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries. So you've got little groups of 3 berries in Cherry Cobbler and in a pearly colour, and you've got single berries. I thought that was absolutely great. I love that. So I bought those, and there is one packet of Designer Series Paper that I bought, which I thought was really nice. This is called Season of Green and Gold, and it's a specialty paper because it's got gold in it. I will put the code numbers below in the video as well. You don't need to go online to actually find these, because I'll give you the code, and if you like, you just type that code in and it will bring it up. Okay, so I've already turned all these over, so that's the reverse of that sheet. So that's really nice and gold. That one is a reverse of this one. And you note these, not that one, that one and that one. Each of these has got one side on it that could be used all year round. That one is definitely all year round, look at that. And on the reverse of it is a Christmas design. I'm not so totally keen on that, but I can see myself possibly die cutting the shapes and using those. Then there's that one, and the reverse of that is that, again, another good all year round paper. And then there's that one, all year round paper. And the reverse of that is this one, which I do quite like. And the last one, that's on the reverse side, that's green. And then on the reverse side is this one, which I really do like. So you may well see that I am using this paper, but because I can't guarantee that it's going to be there for you when I'm ready to do when my videos go live, so I thought I'd give you the heads up first. If you like it, you might want to decide to get it. If not, if I do use it, then you may well decide that you'll use something else that you have. Right, so there we go. That's enough talking for me today. Let's see if I can get all these in the screen. No, I can't, not quite. Never mind. Do my best. There's the masculine one as well. Mustn't forget the men. And this is the one that was the inspiration for me to do this. So many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you give this a go. All these products are available in my online Stampin' Up shop. If you do shop me during September, please use the hostess code here, and if you use this, when I send you a handmade thank you card and handmade thank you gift, I would also be able to send you some free product with it. Although if your order is over £150, don't use the code, because your order will earn you your own stamping reward, so you can choose your own free gift. Okay, this is great for if you've got a reasonably priced order, and well, anything less than 150, but a big order like 150 plus, you get to choose your own. So there we go. The code for my online Stampin' Up, the link for my online Stampin' Up shop will be in the box below. In the meantime, many thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button as well, so you get notified each time I upload a video. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.